Hello out there in YouTube land, this is Morris, man, and as always, I thank you for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to do a special video per request from subscriber Lady Day Moore. Hello out there, and hello out there to all my other subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. So today the video is going to be entitled, How to Make Short Films. The technical aspect, as far as the equipment that I use and how I use it. I'm going to do another video, it's going to be entitled, How to Make Short Films from the creative aspect. Meaning sitting down and writing out an idea, making it into a short film and transfer it to film. So I'm gonna try to condense this because this is a lengthy process, and I'm gonna try my best to give you enough knowledge to kind of give you an understanding of how it's done. Okay, the equipment that I use is the Canon T2i. I love it. It's 18 megapixels, it's very clear. You can get a very professional look, and there are actually professional filmmakers that actually use this camera. Brand new is about $1,000. Used, you can get them from anywhere from $400 to $600 on eBay or even Amazon.com. But eBay, you can probably get a better deal. So the editing program that I use, software, is the Sony Vegas 12. I've used 10, 11, now I'm using 12. I love Sony Vegas because you can actually do a lot of unbelievable things in that program to make your video look professional. And what I didn't know about, because again, I'm a musician, songwriter, didn't know nothing about trying to put together films a couple of months ago until the wonderful people on YouTube who have tutorials on how to do these types of things. And I thank you guys tremendously because without you, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So I'm just going to kind of touch on the technical aspect. Again, the Canon T2i is a very straightforward camera. You know, once you get it within about a week of just kind of toying with it and checking out tutorials on YouTube about how to operate it and the functions that it has, you can basically get a good general idea within a week how to use it and use it effectively. Now the Sony Vegas program, the editing, that might take a little longer. If I had somebody sit next to me when I first tried to use Sony Vegas, I could have probably nailed the ins and out within a week. But it took me a couple of months, and each time I've loaded this program onto my computer, I got frustrated because it's not user friendly, but once you learn the learning curve, it's amazing. So that's what I did. Now, here are some things that I didn't know nothing about. Because when you watch TV, you only watch it to enjoy the storyline, the actors. You don't look at it from a technical aspect as far as I had to get that camera angle, had to get depth of field. And what depth of field is the image that the camera's trying to focus on is crystal clear, and the background is blurry, and it's blurry for the reason where you're focusing on the subject in the frame and not the books on the shelf or the person walking past that person. Pretty cool. You know, I knew nothing about depth of field, but the Canon T2i does that very well. Another thing I didn't know nothing about, color correction. And color correction is really important to get that professional look. You know, because the footage that you normally or first of all shoot, the color is bland, it's kind of washed out, it's not defined, but you do all that color correction and post-production in the software editing program. When you watch TV, you see the final product. You don't see how it's put together. So we instinctively feel or believe that what we shoot or what we do is final. And why doesn't it look like that? Because this is the first stage. Then you got to get to the other stages to get it to look like what it looks like in the final stage. So that's what, you know, I do, and it's important. As far as the ins and outs of Sony, and I'm going to try to touch on this quickly, you can do a lot of good things. I mean, when you click and drag your footage after you shot it, download it to your PC, then you import it into your Sony Vegas editing program, and then you drop it into the timeline. Sony Vegas gives you ample amounts of timelines, and the reason why that's important, okay, the first timeline is for your footage of you walking towards the door. You might want to have a sound effect as far as music to kind of set up the scene. It allows you to, you know, click and drag onto another timeline that music. Then say, for instance, you want fonts over it, you know, where it's, you know, the scene is setting up a certain time of the day, and it tells you that. You can also create another timeline and put that there. You know, you can just keep adding because, again, when you look at the final product, you don't have an idea of how it's put together. But once you start to do this process, you can determine that there are a lot of steps that's involved to get the final product. Because like in my last film, The Letter, there was a scene of me reading the letter, and I kind of emulated what I see on TV when people reading a letter. They don't read it out loud. It's like they're reading it in their mind, and you hear this. So that's what I tried to accomplish or emulate in that particular scene. And I was able to do that by doing an MP3 file of what I was going to do vocal wise, and then insert it onto the top of the visual footage. So it looks like, you know, I'm reading this in my mind. So, but I'm going to wrap this video up because, again, I can talk about the techno aspect for a long time. Just trying to give you a summary of how I do this. And I might have to do another 2 or 3 videos on this topic because I want to give you as much information as I can and much information that I have. So on that note, as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel, and thanks for viewing my videos. Take care.